Ha ha ha! I has the power! The power to do something. Let's see what kind of emotes we have. Okay, very bright, very bright. Very much appreciate it. Well, I now know why we kind of failed. Okay, lessons learned from this. Yeah, the idea that we would mostly be swarmed with infantry was kind of the thing I was thinking about. And in that initial, well, kind of sprint to kind of get the statics up, I kind of forgot about the AT stuff. And yes, I'm slightly talking to myself and a little bit to the stream. Uh, but yeah, um, the general idea was to kind of set up defensive positions on the north side, where we had two of our guys. Why does this thing not lift? Does not have lift power. Right over here. And it kind of still seems like we do have some people there. What is this kind of? I pick a direction and it just kind of floats off. Am I a helium balloon after death? I can't even gain altitude. Is this a new rotor lib? Ah, whatever. Yeah, so we got so focused on getting the statics up that we actually didn't really, well, I didn't actually think about AT. I was so sure someone on Daft's team had AT with them, but of course I could be wrong. That does not look like a tube. Neither does that.
Hello.
Alright, the T-Hundy. Alright, well, seems like one of them is still active anyway. Gonna have a quick look around here. Get some altitude. I'm not even sure how many people we have left here. I mean, we have lost a considerable amount of people. Of that I'm sure. I can guarantee you that. Huh. Well. Right. The Mighty Betty. Well, so we got our ass handed to us. We might actually be able to hold. Oh, 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 oh. Will they? Hmm. Well, they're still sticking in there. I'm guessing sticking around. I'm guessing Nixon's still kind of alive. We got a casualty right now. But in short, lesson learned. Well, don't focus on one thing. Don't get tunnel vision. That's kind of what I was trying to keep to. But yeah, that hasn't really gone my way. So I got extreme television and focused on the fact that the two guys that had tripods was not there. They were elsewhere and nowhere to be seen. I wonder if that's our guys. That looks like PC Mouse. Ah, brave soldiers in the face of war. Yeah, so that's Thorin. Thorin's still alive somehow. Must be some kind of record for him. And over now, we actually have some people still active, still combat effective. So circling back. Yeah, as my lovely better half keeps telling me it's all part of practice, and I guess that's true. On the planning schedule, we basically had, or well, I was basically detailed with 2 squads. That didn't work out the way we thought it would go. I was only left with the weapons team and my own squad. So didn't have as many people as we thought we would. But yeah, Daft Medic kind of kicked me back to reality, being an invaluable help, as always. But I suppose there's some things that's just go awry without much to be able to show for it. But then again, Tucson and Arma 3, how great is that? Just gonna answer some messages. Well, yeah, JK's. I basically done fucked up a little bit with our glorious defense plans. We had plans to have people on the north side and the south side. When it came to, there was a lot of issues, well, trying to get out of base and just leaving base. We had massive desync, so a hunter or a Hemet smacked into us and basically broke the laws of physics, because the Hemet and a hunter and something was suddenly existing inside of the vehicle that we were driving, and that caused a few problems, you might say. Not according to plan. Not in the least. Just gonna pop a link here somewhere. For the guys that are now dead. Oh, holy smokes. Yeah, there we go. No? No? Okay, yeah, and we're back. So already at the start we had some issues. The major desync for the vehicles caused Blue Warrior to die. He respawned shortly after, but due to the way that the respawn stuff was gonna work, I basically told him that he had to wait for 40 minutes, but I'm actually not sure. I mean, that probably counted as a technical difficulty, but at the time I didn't really think that clearly. And once we finally got set up on the hill, we had peace and quiet for a good long while. We had some sporadic civilians moving about now and then, nothing too major. And then suddenly we had Merit and 2 T100s, and with the sudden realization that we do not have any sort of anti-tank with us, which at the start I thought we did, but then again, we only had the heavy weapons team, so no AT. And then a glorious run down to try and get the AT up in time. Once we got there, some issues locking for one of my teammates. He wasn't able to lock the target with the Titan. I was with a PCML, but it seems like the maximum range for a PCML is about 1 click. So yeah, not too thrilled about that. And now we have some kind of helicopter. So basically, our defenses of Shack Track is in disarray. The guys on the north side is still holding strong from what I can see. I mean, they're clustered up nicely. So they're holding that nicely. And Gerace is also being covered pretty nicely. And Thorin, of course, that's out of the vehicle, just asking to get shot. Oh no, that's probably not Thorin. That was Thorin, who would have been shot by now. And the helicopter seems to have either been destroyed or they actually landed. I very much doubt that they just landed. I'm guessing the weapons team actually got the guys. Yeah, my view distance is not great. Actually, when I'm just spectating, I might as well just go all out and be nuts here. Let's see how far we can crank this bullshit. That should give us a little bit more detail. Oh my, oh my.
Medic.
Yeah, oh my, oh my. Is that one of our friendlies? Oh no, no, it's actually civilian. I'm not sure what they're firing at, but good on them. They're engaging something, of that I'm sure. And they're not engaging the K60, and the hunters are way too far away for them to actually be engaging that.
Medic.
And that would be Ingo, screaming for a medic. I totally understand him. More civilians moving about. Oh yeah, so I'm guessing the tank is... Oh! Oh yeah. Speaking of tunnel vision, I can only assume that there was a civilian suicide bomber, considering how nicely these guys are now tuned up. And the tank squadron is now moving in to Shack Shack. We might actually suffer rather grueling defeat in that sense that we were supposed to hold that main static, putting a lot of fire. What we assumed, or what I assumed initially, was that we were going to have a lot of infantry contacts coming through that area, and we would basically be able to clear out that, or any sort of infantry coming from that distance. Also, having Titan launchers being able to engage from that range would be beneficial, and also having OP North and OP South being able to see what kind of contacts were amassing from Betty. But with less people and me not being so organized, we ended up ditching OP South, losing a very good line of sight into Betty. So, yeah. And also the fact that I was still carrying around well, I was not quick enough to actually order some of the soldiers that I had under my command to pick up ATE launchers. When they were actually going down to pick them up, we actually started getting some armored contacts in the forest. Me being me, I figured, well, I could always take out the Marids, but that just drew unfortunate fire. Really should learn the limitations of the weapons, I guess. Titans should be able to engage from further distances, but in this case I basically had a PCML and it seems like the max range was reached rather quickly, causing some issues. Well, that doesn't look suspicious at all. What you doing there? Yeah, I am pretty sure now that what we had defending now is utterly disseminated. I see 2 soldiers. They are probably the pilots that got shot down earlier. And yeah. Hey guys, just pick up the Titan launchers. Yeah. I don't think that guy's just chilling. I'm half expecting a car bomb of some sort. So, yeah. In better news, oh wow, that's a very stealthy camouflage tank. You could barely see it. A new CSAT camouflage techniques. I mean, they have stealth tanks. It's just, oh yes, they're underground tanks. I mean, you can barely see them. Huh? Just peaceful sand.
Headache.
And then no. Alright, so I'm a bit curious what's gonna happen now. I mean, the command elements is now north.
Medic.
And if they actually are aware of the situation down there, they might actually do something about it. But most of our lines of communications is now thoroughly cut. Leave no man behind, right? I feel for that guy. I really do. He's just trying to save his buddy.
Medic.
And in the meanwhile, people are passed out and just screaming for medics, even though no one can hear them.
Quelqu'un m'entend?
Eh, tu m'entends?
Ouais, je t'entends. Tu m'entends?
Ouais, c'est qu'on est mort.
Ah ouais.
Medic.
On est au paradis.
Alright, so our...
On est mort
Oh.
ou quoi?
Je sais pas, j'entends des bruits autour de moi.
Voix floue.
Well,
Tu sais,
our
là,
statics are
vois
back. That is not
flou avec,
wise.
Ouais,
Trying
c'est
to
bien.
engage. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut the TeamSpeak sound. They're currently trying to gauge the tanks. I really don't envy them. Their attempts here, because that is ballsy to say the least. I still have a random civilian just down there. What was probably caught on the stream was well. Oh wow. They actually did it. They actually got the guys to disembark, I believe. That is impressive. Or no. That can't be. That is actually a CSAT squad moving into town. If the defensive guys catches wind of that, I'm not sure if they will. Or if they're able to. Okay, they're... Wow. They are in up Schitt's Creek. Got one guy left on defending. We have these two guys still. Still doing their tango there. Oh, this is a pretty hopeless situation. Okay, one guy versus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys, and an unknown number of active tanks. Okay, he's doing only sensible thing to do. Two guys. Is he carrying a? Yeah, he's carrying a PCML launcher. Now I hope he knows about backblast. If not, we're gonna be in for a pretty nasty surprise. I almost can't take my eyes off this situation. I mean, this is golden right here. As you can see, the static location is basically eradicated right now. There might be some guys alive there, but they are currently bleeding out. And meanwhile, the CSAT team is currently trying to flank. They're actually being smart about it, moving around the statics, but if they were still active, that would be a different case. We currently have one guy holding ground here. I almost can't look away. I mean, this is something. Okay, yeah, we'll return to that in a while. Meanwhile, we have our friend over here. What is he gonna do? I think he's feeling alone. I would be too. Okay, the CSAT is actually trying to flank. And yeah. Actually, they're surpassing defenses. I guess they know that there's not that many people left there alive. Let's see here. We got a hunter. Thorian to the rescue. They should be able to engage from that range. They're hauling ass down, but don't know if they actually have line of sight. The QRF force is arriving a bit too late. I'm not sure about the status of Shaba, which was our line directly to command disable the vehicle. Civilians on foot could be hostile. And it's just been confirmed. Our static guys got annihilated by suicide bomber. It's so easy to kind of lose the focus in the middle and focus on the wrong things, and that'll end up costing you dearly. Let's see here. We do have the hunter. Still seems to be in reasonable shape. The Titan there. Oh, that guy behind. Does he know about backblast? Yes, he does. Maybe he doesn't. And CSAT is just well, standing out for the summer catalog. It seems they're not doing much. Another hunter with the remaining survivors of the defender squad. Pulling back. Rest in peace, statics. We still have one friendly moving about. Oh, so isolated. Oh man. Oh man. Ahoy! Titan. Will they return fire? Or will they just clip into the ground? Yep, they will. Well, actually, for the next time, I almost feel like I want to do this instead. Just commenting on what's happening. Kind of like a sports commentator. Let's see. We got shots fired. I somehow assume that's Bourbon without actually knowing. And they had one casualty over there. Otherwise, they seem to be in pretty good shape. I do see CSAT soldiers moving on north of Jane. I'm not sure what these guys are doing, but I can just assume that they assume the position of falling because they knew that they were gonna fail against our epic defense on the north side. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing, but sure enough, fine. We'll just record that. I mean, they're just giving themselves over. Yes. Well, these guys are kind of just, well, walking the treadmill. Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of units on the map right now. So, yeah, quite possibly they're training on free falling on the ground. Now I wonder, these are probably our friendly forces. I think I see at least 2 PCML, so yeah, that would probably be friendlies. Yeah, it's all mystery, and I have to kind of document the whole thing. Well, the good news is I at least see Florence Hunter is still alive and well. At least it looks that way. The turret's not traversing though. Oh, oh, oh! I feel like we're missing something here. Yes, we are definitely missing something. Whoop. So I wasn't ever able to figure out the mods that actually causes your character to spout out this nonsense, this aggressive freeze thing. But every time that you hit the C button, it now spouts this stuff, as you can hear.
Che distanza siamo dai carri?
I'm still not entirely sure why I can actually still hear the Frenchies,
Avviciniamoci un chilometro e
unless
poi
they're actually talking
ingaggiamo
on
quei carri. Dovreste vedere.
on comms in game. That is kind of weird, but no
Comunque
matter.
Anti si aggancia il bersaglio. Tutto lo sai.
The hunters are now currently moving back. I assume that they will try and re-seize control of the area. But it's a fair bit of cleaning up to do.
No, va bene, qui
Still
tanto
some
sono
civilians,
contenti.
suspected
I carri stanno tutti lì, non si muovono.
IS combatants. The CSAT is currently engaging contacts up by static. There's fire being exchanged now. I can only assume is between hunters. Yeah, the good old 50 cal. We actually did have a 50 cal, but of course didn't actually place it anywhere suitable. Right here is where we put it, for the simple fact that didn't want to expose it. And I wonder who this could be. Now could only have a look at your tag, man. Oh, it's a person without a tag. It's being thoroughly sneaky though. I'll give him that. That might actually be Shaba. For all I know. Stand still, will you? It's just I just wanna know who you are. That's all I wanna know. Well, that row's clear. I wouldn't really walk this way, you know? I mean, probably not a good idea. So I know what's out there. Well, you'll be fine if you move through there, but that's... No? Woohoo! Will you? Yeah, okay. You decide whatever you want to do, man. It's entirely up to you. I'm not gonna be her boss. Anyone else see that? Just got kind of like a skin graft just going away. The Kellys are still in the battle. Just chilling. That looks kind of weird. I'm not sure if you're supposed to look like that. There's something about your neck. It's... I don't know. I mean, you could probably be a model. I mean, they have long necks, so you'll just fit in right with the beautiful people, you know? It's cool. You could totally do that. And we can now hear a helicopter coming in. Rather rapido. I'm assuming they're going to deploy up troops. And of course, it's going to be on the Southern Hill. Is this a Cayman? It kind of looks like that at first. And yes, it's a Cayman. I am willing to call this the end of the game. If I can now just rebound. This is kind of like maneuvering a helium balloon with, oh my. I don't know what they just did, but... Oh, well, no. That was actually a rocket. I'm not sure if that was a static, or if it was actually someone firing a regular AT rocket. I mean, it doesn't seem like they're... losing altitude yet. I mean, they're flying pretty tactically. This might be our El Grande Spore at work. And they are moving towards main HQ. Perfectly parked, if I may say so. Nice little civilian there. Yes, so whoever can speak French or Italian, I will... Oh, so, Well, this is actually kind of better. Yes, thank you. That's really needed. I am no longer a drunk seagull. I am now, Mr. UAV, sorta. So the Cayman basically just out for a stroll. It's not really actively engaging stuff. Oh, now it's definitely actively engaging stuff. Yes, indeed, it is. our man on the ground who was not sure if he was going to go the other way or this way. I'm no longer sure what happened with him. Yes. Well, we now have a massment of friendly forces on that hill. They are perfectly lined up for a group photo or a rocket run. And if you just did a rocket right there, that would be at least 4 or 5 casualties. At least. And probably a couple of fatalities as well. I do approve. And it's coming back. Does it have destruction in mind? Does it? Or is it just one of those Matrix squid looking things that just fly around and oh yeah, it's engaging something. It's wrecking the town. Huh. Well, he managed to pull up. I approve of this pilot. That should do some damage to the aft rotor. Oh yes, flaming wreckage. Nice shot, sir, whoever you are. You can just see it just diving off in the distance. Well, I'd be lying if I said I'm not being exploited, but I do feel a little bit exploited. But it's not my body even. But even so, I'm just in the vicinity of people, just grabbing my shit. It's just, I don't know. I'd probably do the same thing. To be fair. Still those civilians. Many civilians. And our friendlies are now on offense. That is interesting news. I'm not sure what happened to the tanks. Honestly, I do not know. It's a mystery to me. That certainly looks like some friendlies. I mean, they're moving about in an orderly fashion. It's not bad. And the civilians are still just roaming the streets, creating problems everywhere they go. In a situation like these, it's kind of hard to keep track of who's friend and who's foe, and I must admit there was this one civilian who said we're all gonna die. If he had a little or less bass in his voice, I probably mistake him for the little girl in Resident Evil, probably. You're all gonna die down here. Yeah. Well, the defensive squad kinda got wiped. The offensive squad is now bringing everything back on the offensive. And I actually do believe that they're planning on employing the statics that we left behind. I mean, good job us for setting up the statics. So, that's just I don't know. That just looks wrong to me. Tracer fire going out. Actually a bit outside of my range. Seems like they're actually actively engaging. Well, that's a civilian. But we had one of those people approach our location earlier. That caused a little bit of problems. Yeah, I suppose I shouldn't really be bothered that much by it. It's my free stuff. I don't need it anymore because I'm, well, no longer with you. And they're actually employing the Northern OP pretty well, and they're doing great work of that. Hmm. Well. Yeah, they're at least doing a fair job of harassing the hostiles coming out of Betty. Actively defeating them, if I say so myself. I'm not sure if these guys know about the guys down in the valley. That is something I'm intent on finding out. Oh! Nearly hit the ground. That is one nice firing line. The Italians are doing a great job. Well, actually, due to the angle of this hill, the contacts moving about down here are kind of hidden from the Italians, so they are actually not going to be able to spot them from their current position. However, looking up further towards the statics position, it all looks kind of like a mess, don't it? It really does. I can't even tell where's the static anymore. Well, in theory, the static up there should be able to engage these targets, but considering, well, they actually already have a pretty good line of sight on them, and this kind of, well, illustrates pretty well the difficulties of joint operations with larger groups, and then now we add language into it as well. It's a frantic situation, and it's tricky to communicate what needs to be communicated. For instance, that you guys have contacts just below the hill, outside of your visual range, basically. It's difficult to be able to communicate that effectively and quickly. But I think the Italians are onto something. I think they're sniffing out that there's incoming fire. Probably hear the audio contacts. And as I said previously, I mean, we spent maybe, well, I personally spent maybe 2 hours walking around on this exact terrain, just looking around, considering how this all will play out. And didn't really expect that much armor contacts, but then again, we actually had the equipment to deal with it. It's just too late, basically. By the time we actually had that kind of threat, I mean, the 40 mech mic and the HMG was not going to make a dent in the tanks. By the time that we knew that we had such a threat, we didn't actually have that available to us, so that is a slight problem right there. And since we didn't have that, now we're paying the consequences. I definitely hear a helicopter. So if we can sniff it out. Oh yeah, it's coming in, and that looks to be an Orca. And if I'm not mistaken, that's an armed Orca. Got rockets, miniguns, the whole works. Also hear a second helicopter coming in. That is a bit more slow moving, but it's also armed helicopter. This one is actually trying to auto rotate, and did actually manage a pretty nice auto rotation. The other one is presumably trying to deploy troops more tactically, but hit by an anti-air missile, and the pilot tries to gain altitude to try and make some kind of emergency landing. At least that's what it looks like, but he's turning his rotors too wide. Still has control, but he's coming down way too hard. Yep. And there you have it. Two of the air contacts are gone. See another friendly squad. They're currently moving through town. I'm just assuming that these are civilians. Yes, they are. A whole lot of civilians just popped up, and they're actually close to our trucks, basically. Yeah, in the heat of the moment, we basically left 2 vehicles, or 2 Hammets at least, on the edge of town, thinking they would be safe. But then again, they are right there. And there's a bunch of civilians, probably up to no good. And if they still want to, I mean, they could steal a bunch of military hardware. That guy looks shifty, that's for sure. But we do have what looks to be a command element right there. And who are you, sir? I guess we'll never know. I wonder if I can interact with him in spectator mode. That would be fun. Poke him. Tap on the shoulder. No. Not really. No. Alright, who could this be? I just kind of went through the wall. I'm just... No tags. And, no tags. No tags. No tags? What? What is... Oh, there we go. And it is the French, Turima. And I'm sure there's some important stuff going on here right now. Of course, we can't hear anything because Tifar and Akir works by the way that it communicates with TeamSpeak, and of course it also disables any kind of well, I can't just move to a location unless I'm actually there, and since my body's right here, I'll only be able to hear whatever's Tifar is saying around my body, I think. Hey, you. Say something. No? Fair enough.
Try it. Just try it.
That thing is kind of annoying. I mean, okay, I see what they're trying to do here. Someone's trying to pack up the other static and move it, I assume.
Don't move.
I guess what I'm coming down to is basically that next time will be better. It usually is.
Hand me over.
If I'm looking back to, oh, that is CSAT. I actually thought that was a friendly squad. Thought that was the Italians. I don't know where they went. Unless they took the hill. Nope, that is... Well, I guess they're actually... I guess we're now on defense, basically. The offensive troops are... Oh, never mind. That there would probably be the Italians. And I see they got a casualty. CSAT is currently moving a bit. So did my buddy. And the range from, well, OP North, roughly 300, 600, maybe close to 600-700 meters, and they're currently trying to engage with ACOs, so they do the only thing sensible, they retreat. Good move on them. I should have done that. Then again, I had better optics, so what do I know? How much? And I wonder if this could be the remains of the recon team.
Put your hands up.
That certainly looks like it. Let me see if I can find some tags here.
Hands where I can see them. Do it.
I'm just gonna assume that this is Gas and Calv, and that Magnus died horribly
Move. If you
and
move,
heroically
between your eyes.
at some point in time. But the question is, where are they moving? Huh. That certainly sounds like a mortar. And that is quite possibly a mortar. Currently scanning the area to see if I can find a mortar position. But I am not able to. Not from this location anyway. One thing is certain anyway. Shack Shack is in slightly worse shape than it was before. I'm actually not sure if that's mortar fire anymore. That looks to be something heavier, as in artillery. And these guys over here, well, I hope they move. Well, so a quick question to the guys watching the stream. Would you like to keep watching? Our friendly forces are currently being pushed. And I'm not able to get an accurate read on where that mortar fire is coming from, but I can only assume that it's Betty. I say mortar, but it actually looks like artillery. And that looks like one civilian. Alright, just storing a couple of locations. These guys, they are holding up the defense. Though I do not know who they are. Our nameless heroes. Might as well just call them X-Men since we don't really know who they are. No tags. And no tags. Oh, nope. Dude, stop. Stop it. Just stop it. Dude. I nearly had it. I'm pretty sure that's... I think that might be John. From ASE. Oh yes, that is quite possibly, and pretty sure that is John. He might be the only guy surviving the onslaught from the from the tanks and my generally idiocracy, and yes. So good job on John for pulling through here. And I'm assuming These are the Italians. I'm not sure though. Seems like we're our forces is regrouping in Shashak. And they are returning fire. Oh wow, they are taking fire from very far distance. A very far distance indeed. That is pretty far out. And I think according to my ranging, this is about about 600 meters. Good on them for being crack shots. So yeah, this campaign has some pretty insane. Sorry to hear that, G-Man. Yeah, this campaign has some pretty evil AI. It seems like most of the offensive troops are actually making it back to town. Just the remains of our defending forces that got totally obliterated. I'm still a bit unsure what's happening in town. I mean, the artillery fire just suddenly stopped, and I wasn't able to actually see anything there. This doesn't look good. That actually looks pretty bad. I am not sure if that's Sporvin. And those are definitely CSAT. Okay, so what we got here is a whole bunch of friendly forces, and this guy is saying his last words, I assume. I can't really hear what you're saying, but I'm gonna make a mental note of it, and hang in there, buddy. It's gonna be okay. It's not gonna make it. Alright, so CSAT currently has forces now in Shakshak. It's not a whole lot of them. It's a 4-man fire team. I'm assuming they're trying to decide what to do. And our friendly forces. Oh, did they just get hit with a 40 Mac bike or what? No, the engine seems to be good still. I guess we are retreating from Shakshak. Actually, it looks like it's our loss. And who basically thought this would be a cakewalk. It turned out to be nothing like that at all. Alright, Shakshak troops. Well, CSAT Shakshak troops are currently engaging in contacts up by the hill. Right now, our friendlies are being hit. I'm not sure if they're actually being able to pinpoint that fire or if they're unsure. Oh, no. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. Seriously, get in cover. Just get behind the truck. It's hit, but he's going, and return fire. Yes. What about the friendlies over on the left side? That's what I'm curious about. I'm not even sure what this guy is firing at, but we did have command here a while back. Yeah, that does not look good. That does not look good. Alright, so We now have some incoming fire. I can only surmise that that friendly is well placed. Oh yes, very good placement indeed. Wow. Yeah, that's gonna make it hard for them to see anything whatsoever. They're still doing a bang-up job. Oh yeah, you made it, buddy. Come on, you can make the last. Yeah, I would call that pretty successful. What do we have here? Is that a friendly? I am honestly not sure. That is a friendly. Oh wow. Oh no. You would have been fine if we went the other way, dude. Oh shit, you're okay, I'm not even sure where the fire is coming from anymore. This is getting hard to keep track of this situation. And now I do think we have a bit of blue on blue here. I'm not sure. Oh yes, we are. Oh guys, I was rooting for you guys. Seriously, what's going on here? Okay, I'm definitely not the guy who's supposed to be preaching about ROE. Ah, right. Gotcha, Short. Or Jordy. Alright, to sum it up, civilians, I'm assuming ISIS basically has control over our Hemets. Bad placement on my part. I'm assuming I'll get a bill. The Hemet truck, which we once had parked, is no longer to be seen. I can only assume that it was brought back to base. Yeah, we'll just pretend that never happened. And we got a box Hemet back at base. The other one, yeah, that is probably the one that we parked. We've been watched since the start of this session. I am sure of it. Okay, so more shit is going on here. Our friendly forces are currently pulling out while exchanging fire with what seems to be a very dead CZ. Yes. I mean, he has the I'm dead face and all. It's pretty grotesque. Nope. He might actually still be alive. I see some twitching. Nah, it's gone. Maybe it's just could have been a fly for all I know. Alright, to sum it up. Yeah, there's no such thing as a perfect plan. I had what in my mind was the perfect plan. But desync happens, so you get kind of delayed. Radio issues happen, so clunks up everything that you're supposed to do. And tripod people kind of go missing now and then until they show up. delaying the statics and making the guy semi in charge, the SQL, go kind of batshit and crazy and insane. Forget to think of the fact that we actually need AT as well. So when we actually had armor contacts, we only had the GMGs and the HMGs ready, and I just sent 2 guys down to get AT and more AA. So some heartfelt after action reports is due, I guess. Thanks guys for watching. It's been a blast. And an epic blast.